this, you're so focused on the blessing, but not focused on the higher self. Okay, this is important right here. You see, the higher self is what's going to get you to where you want to go. Okay, your higher self is the one that's providing you with the blessings. Stop focusing so much on the shadow behind you. That's the past. That's who you were before. Yes, you can praise the cars, you can praise the houses, you can praise the blessings, all this amazing things. But we must first praise God and the higher self that was able to get us those things. Okay, this is key. Your energy is everything when it comes to facing demons, because demons feed off of individuals that have low vibrations, but they can't feed off of an individual that has a higher vibration. Okay, so like I said, when you're walking towards where you want to go, the light, the sunset, the story of the man walking towards the sunset, don't focus on the shadow behind you. Focus on the light in front of you. The light is what we're searching for. Okay. And like I said earlier, you might have to face some demons in the darkness, but you'll face them in the darkness until you fight yourself through the light. The blessings are going to be enormous, but we must fight every single day to get ourselves there. So that's number 4. Then number 5, and last but not least, is that we must allow your light to shine on your demons. And remember that light overpowers darkness. Our demons are our own limitations, and they shut you off from all the realities of life. Each demon you conquer in life will give you a different perspective. You want to see the light at the end of the tunnel? You must conquer the demons. Allow the person you really are to shine through and break out. Like I said earlier, let go and let God. All right. Be a person of high energy who works on themselves daily, who inspires others to be the same. Be your best self. All right. Allow your light to shine on those demons. But in order for you to allow your light to do that, you have to develop the light. Okay. But that light is already inside of you. But every single day, you got to work towards this. Okay. Be a person of high energy every day. Wake up excited, wake up energized, ready to go out there and have a great day. All right. Be a person that works on themselves daily. And not only do you want to do this for you, but teach this to other people, because other people need to hear this message. Recommend this podcast to other people out there that need to learn how to face their demons. Okay. And understand that we must be grateful for every moment that we're in. All right. The moment that you're in right now is always perfect. Always remember that. It's perfect where you are right now, because you can only grow from this moment. Even if you are at rock bottom, guess what? If you're at rock bottom, the only place you can go from here now is up. You can't go more down. You're already at the very bottom. And always understand this, that at rock bottom comes your biggest blessing. The same way that all these amazing things can happen to you is the same way it can be taken away. That's why we must always, always, always stay aware. We must always become a better version of ourselves. Okay, so that way we can always stay grateful. Be grateful at all times of the day, because when you're grateful, you allow the light to shine on your demons. Your demons don't want you to be grateful. Your demons don't want you to overpower the darkness. They want you to stay in the darkness because they feed off of you when you're in the darkness. You want to be the one that's the light. Demons don't like the light. Be the light for other people, and understand that this journey is going to be one where you're going to have to fight a lot of these day to day. But once you fight them and once you become strong, there's going to be no demon that you can't beat. There's going to be no demon that could become you. You're going to be able to defeat every single one of them with no problem, with ease, because you became a stronger version of yourself, because you developed yourself, and because you're ready. That's it. You have the experience. We got to be like Floyd Mayweather, 50-0. We can't let none of these demons defeat us. Every single day, we got to go out there and fight them, and fight and fight and fight. And then guess what? We'll live a life of incredible bliss, incredible fulfillment, and just so much gratitude for everything that we want. But in order for us to do that, we have to fight the negative. We turn the negative into positive, and that's one of the biggest accomplishments that you will ever have in life. All right. So the 5 ways to face your demons. Number one was understand that everything you desire in life lies on the other side of facing your demons. All right. Number two was don't allow the past to be drawn into your future, right? Create the future without having to go back into the past. So that's number two. Number three is transform your demons into a gateway towards joy and bliss. All right. Super important. Number four was transform your energy and be ready to confront everything. And number five, allow your light to shine on your demons. And remember that light overpowers darkness. I'm so thankful to be here with you guys. And what I want to do is I just want to end the call with a quick prayer. I want to end this podcast with a quick prayer. Okay. And I want to make sure that each and every single one of you faces these demons today, right? So thank you, Father, for allowing us to wake up on another beautiful day, on a day for us to grow and become better. There's individuals listening to this podcast right now that are facing demons. All right, all right, all right. Let's get this call started. Give me 1 sec right here. Let me set this up on Instagram for us, and we are ready to go, familia. How's everybody feeling real quick? Let me know where you calling in from in the chat as I set this up. What city, what country is everybody calling in from? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Man, I'm excited for today's call. This one's going to be a good one. Okay, here we go. Overcoming. All right, perfect. There we go. We just set it up on IG. We are live on Instagram, and we are ready to go. Grand Rising, familia. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mornings with Nano YouTube edition. Happy Tuesday, happy July. I'm very blessed, very grateful to be on this call with all of you. I see we got people calling in from all over the world. San Diego, we got Atlanta in the building. We got Vegas, Florida, Alabama, Finland, San Diego, Miami, Florida, a lot of Cali in the building. I like to see it. I like to see it. I'm very blessed, very grateful for all of you guys for taking the time to jump on today's call. It's one of the things that I look forward to each and every single day. I want to let you guys know that these calls are live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:15. Around 10:15-ish is when I usually start them, which is usually around the time that I finish up my routine. I kind of get everything going. So around 10:15-ish every Tuesday and Thursday, you guys can catch me on Mornings with Nano here on YouTube and on Instagram, just so that you guys know. I'm very excited for what it is that I'm going to share with you guys today, because it's one of my favorite topics, which is overcoming the habit of drifting. And I think it's a habit that, a lot of us really need to learn about and need to understand, because it's a life-changing habit if understood, right? So, let's get ready. Let's put this thing in place. I'm really looking forward to today's call, because I know a lot of people are going to be able to get a lot of value from what it is that we talk about here on today's call. So make sure you guys have your pens and papers ready. Get ready to take notes. Turn off all devices of distractions. Let's get this call started on the right foot, because it's about to get real on today's call. And I want to give you guys some homework as well at the end of the call that'll really put some things into perspective for you guys, so that you guys can elevate and so that you guys can put yourself in a position to win. All right, guys. So before we get started, though, I do want to start off the call with some gratitude. Today I am grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my team and everyone within Digital Dynasty. I'm grateful for my family, mom, dad, little brother, goddaughter, and godson, and everybody else that's in there. I'm grateful for my friends, all the leaders in the organization, the company that I'm a part of, the whole Mornings with Nano community. I am very, very grateful for all of you guys. One last thing I'm going to say before I do start the call is make sure that you send this out to your group chats. Send this out on your Telegrams, your Discords, your iMessages. Let everybody know that we are live on YouTube and that we have a great session ahead of us where we're going to be talking about the habit of drifting. Okay. Now, I think it's important that we talk about this because I chose this topic because I was listening to the audio this morning of Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Now, put a one in the chat box if you've ever read or listened to the audio or read the book from the book Outwitting the Devil. Has anybody gotten that? Put a one in the chat box if you have, real quick. I just want to see how many people have and have gotten access to this information, right? Because this is amazing information. I think that everyone that's here should have read the book, and on top of that, most importantly, I think you should listen to the audio. I think both of them are really good, but I think, in my honest opinion, the audio is better because it's a live interview between Napoleon Hill and the devil. And if you haven't read the book, it's an absolute must read. It would really open your eyes to a lot of what's happening in the world today. And just so you guys kind of get an idea of this, Napoleon Hill read this book called Outwitting the Devil back in the 1930s, 40s, around there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the exact date. But when he wrote the book, he kept it in a vault because he didn't want it to cause a lot of controversy back in those days. Okay, he wrote it around the times of the World War II days, okay, back in the 1940s, so on and so forth. But he didn't release that book. It wasn't released until recently, okay? If I want to look up, let me see real quick. Let me see. When was Outwitting the Devil released? Okay, because it was just recently released. Okay, it was released June of 2011, but it was written, okay, back in the 1940s. Okay, yeah, it was written in 1938, and it was banned from publishing. And it was too controversial, right? And it was too controversial was back in the day, and it was one of those things that really put a lot of things into perspective because everything that he talked about in the book went against what everybody believed in those days. And he talks about a lot of the negative thinking that people have and so on and so forth. And it put a lot of things into perspective for a lot of people because people believe that the devil was an individual that had horns with a tail, and that was this guy that was red, and that the only time that you would be encounter with him is when you die and you go to hell, right? That's kind of like the concept that a lot of people were you know basically programmed with. But in reality, the real thing behind it is he is a negative entity. He is the negative energy, right? In the world, there's positive, and in the world, there's negative. Okay. He's the negative energy. He's the fear, the doubts, the insecurities. Okay. And he talks about how people think that when they die, that there is a hell that they go to. But in reality, people live hell on earth because of the way that they're programmed. Now, I really want you guys to listen to this, okay? Like, if you've never listened to it, it's only a 3-hour audio. But if you have not listened to it, it's very important that you do because it'll open your mind. He talks about it in the book. He says, for the people that don't understand their own thinking, it wouldn't make sense to them. But for the people that are free thinkers, for the people that are looking to elevate their lives, this could be something that could really change your life and could really change the way that you look at things. Okay. So if you have not listened to it, if you have not read the book, I recommend you get the book and you listen to it. It's something that you got to continuously study, but I'm telling you, it will shift your life. Right now, in the book, he talks about his biggest way to control people. Okay. In the book, he talks about the best way that he controls people is through something called drifting. Okay. Now, I want you guys to write this down. All right. A drifter is a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances of the outside world. Okay? A drifter is a person who permits himself or herself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances of the outside world. Okay? And what he says in the book is that 97 to 98% of people are drifters, which is crazy when you think about the numbers, because that means that out of 100 people, 98 people are drifters. And when you start to think about it, you're like, wait, that's not fair. Like, how is it that this entity, this negative energy, has taken control over so many people in this world? Okay. Now, the thing is that most people aren't thinking, right? If you go back to the audio by Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, he says most people don't think. If people would actually think, they wouldn't be doing the things that they do. Okay. Most people aren't thinking because people are drifting. And the moment you drift one way, you drift everywhere. Okay. Now, I'm grateful that I got access to this information very early on, after I graduated from college and I got into entrepreneurship, because it opened my mind to basically what I needed to overcome and what I needed to avoid. Now, I told myself that I will never allow myself to be a drifter, regardless of the circumstances in my life. Okay. A drifter is the worst thing that you can be in life. Okay. And I know people may disagree with it, but it is, because once you become a drifter, you lose control of basically your life. You basically give your life up and you let this negative entity control it. And this is what happens to most people, right? I'm gonna repeat the definition again. Okay. A drifter is a person who permits him or herself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances of the outside world. Okay. If you're someone who allows what's happening on the outside to control how you feel inside, you're a drifter. Let me give you guys examples, okay? You see, there's 6 major fears in the world that the enemy uses to control us, right? The biggest fear that most people get controlled by is the fear of poverty, okay? The fear of poverty is what controls most people. And what ends up happening is, when you have a fear of losing money, you have a fear of your finances, you have a fear. This is why right now is one of the scariest places to be in the world. Right now, the times that we're living in right now, 2024, is one of the scariest places to be living in, for the reason that inflation is up, gas prices are up, groceries are up, everything is up, but people are making less money. So right now, the fear of poverty is at an all-time high at this very point in time right now. Okay. Which means that when you're in fear, you're allowing, okay, the enemy to control your thinking. You're allowing the enemy to control your thinking. And because you're allowing the enemy to control your thinking and you're filled with fear, doubt, insecurities, worry, and so on and so forth, he's in control. And when you allow outside circumstances to control you, you are a drifter, because you are not controlling your thinking. The outside is controlling your thinking. You're allowing the numbers in your bank account. You're allowing your paycheck. You're allowing the things that are happening in your life to control how you feel. That's what a drifter is. And I remember when I was that person, when I would allow what I saw on my bank account to control how I felt, when I allowed the amount of money that was coming into my life to control how I felt. And I'll repeat, I'm gonna keep repeating the definition of what a drifter is: a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world. Right now, what is happening in the outside world? What are we seeing? Okay, if you're allowing what's happening on the outside world to control you, to control your thinking, to control your feelings, you're drifting right now. You control your thinking, you control what you feel, but you can't allow what's happening on the outside to control the inside, because the outside is very dark right now. The outside right now is very chaotic right now. So if you allow the outside that's filled with darkness, that's filled with chaos, that's filled with negativity to control you, then that means you're going to be filled with chaos. You're going to be filled with negativity. You're going to be filled with all this worry. And guess what's going to happen now? Because that's what you're filled with, that's what you're going to be projecting. And if what you're projecting out into the world, guess what? That's what you're going to receive. It's all part of the game plan. Fear of poverty is the biggest fear that most people have. There's 6 major fears. One of them, and the most important one, is the fear of poverty, the fear of losing money, the fear of not making enough. And if, like I said, if you think about it, think about the things that are happening in the world, guys. I want you guys to actually start thinking about what's happening. I'm not on this call to scare you. When I first learned this information, I was like, I wasn't scared, but I was like, it was almost like a smack in the face. Like, Nano, wake up, bro. Wake up, because I was drifting. I was lost. I was allowing what was happening on the outside to control my feelings, my emotions, my thinking. And what I realized that this is the craziest part about it. Once you overcome that, you realize how many people are drifting. You realize that your friends are drifters. You start to realize that your families, the people that you love, are the biggest drifters of them all. Okay? And you have to be the person that realizes it and commits to change. You got to commit to the change. Because listen to this, okay? We all know this, and if you didn't know this, we have 70,000 thoughts on a daily basis. Conscious and subconsciously, we have about 70,000 thoughts a day. Now, the numbers state that 70 to 80% of those, based off of your environment and your hereditary, are negative, okay? Now, think about this really quick. 70 to 80% of your thoughts are negative based off of your environment and your hereditary, right? Based off of, your parents and the generations to come and so on and so forth, and the environments that you're in. They're negative. Now, if you do the math, can somebody do the math for me? What is 70% of 70,000? Can anybody do that math for me and let me know in the chat box? What is 70% of 70,000, right? Let's do some math real quick. I have my phone doing live, so I really can't do it. Just somebody do that for me real quick. What's that math right there? What is 70% of 70,000, right? 49,000. Let's call it 50K for math purposes, right? So out of 70,000 thoughts a day, 50K of them are negative. Okay, at least 50K, because it's 70 to 80%. And a lot of that is done through what? The negative entity. Now, if you listen to the book and if you listen to this, it starts to blow your mind, because in the book, Napoleon Hill asks the negative entity, he says, what is your greatest trick to be able to get people to drift? And he tells them, my trick is I start while they're young. I start while they're young. I start through the school system, through their parents. Because you see, in the school system, he says, I get these individuals to learn all this random information so that they can have other people thinking for them instead of them thinking for themselves. And he said, it goes even deeper than that. I start before the moment of conception, before they're even born, because I start with their parents. So it becomes hereditary. This is why so many people have such a tough time breaking generational curses, because it's hard. You're not just breaking your curses, you're breaking curses that go down 50, 100, 150, 200 years. You understand what I'm saying right now, guys? Like, this is how deep it goes. It goes that far. And when he starts to put this into perspective, I'm like, damn, maybe this is why it's so difficult, even for me. Even for me to break the curses, even for me to create the generational wealth. I'll never give up. This is what I'm committed to. I know it's already done, but this is what it's all about. Our parents have been programmed before we were even born. While we were being raised in these environments. Think about me. I was raised in the hood, Washington Heights, New York City, where there's drugs being sold on every corner. There's liquor stores on every street. Everybody's smoking, everybody's drinking, everybody's staying up late. Everybody praises lust and love and sex and this, which are all things of the enemy. And that's your environment. This is what you grow up in. This is what you see every day. This is what you hear every day. This is what you smell every day. This is what you taste every day. This is what you touch every single day. And for years, that's the programming. So people end up becoming drifters. They get influenced by the outside. They get influenced by anything from the outside because it's all that they know. It's all that they know. So let's talk about how to overcome that. Okay. There's 5 points to overcome being a drifter. Okay. 5 points, right? Number 1 is understanding the concept of drifting. Right? You got to understand the concept of drifting, which I just did. I let you guys know what a drifter is. But another thing that you need to understand is when you're drifting, it's also a point of being aimless. You have lack of purpose, and you're easily influenced by the outside factors of the world. Okay. If you are waking up every day and you have no purpose and you have no direction on where you're going in life, you're drifting right now. I'm sorry to tell you that. You're drifting. That was me. When I was living in New York and I was just waking up and just smoking weed with my friends and going out on the weekend, and I had no purpose, I had no job, I was drifting. Because write this quote down: an idle mind is the devil's playground. An idle mind is the devil's playground. And that's the reality of the situation. If you're just being lazy and you're not thinking for yourself, okay, if you're not doing anything and you're not really, this is the easiest place for the devil to come in and install fears, install doubts, install insecurities, install worry into you. And what ends up happening is, guess what? Those seeds start to germinate. They start to grow. Because that's the thing. One thought leads to two, two leads to four, four leads to eight, eight leads to 16, 16 leads to, and it compounds. And it starts to compound. So next thing you know, that one seed that was planted now starts to grow. And you got to be able to pay attention to that. We all drift. I've been a massive drifter in my life. I've drifted many times in my life, but I'm aware of it. Okay, because it's a battle. Remember the war that is happening right now. People say, "Oh, World War III, whatever." World War III is already happening. It's happening right in front of our eyes. The thing is that this war is not a physical war. It's a spiritual war. It's a war that we can't see. That's what people don't understand. We are living in World War III. It's just not a physical war. There's not guns and fights and battles, even though there is in certain countries, but majority of it is all spiritual. My brother D, what's good, D? It's all spiritual right now. It's the battle of the mind. It's understanding the positive versus the negative. Okay, it's seeing yourself and realizing like, yo, this is actually happening right in front of our eyes right now. And you gotta be the one that makes the difference. You gotta be the one that commits to a positive mentality. You gotta be the one that commits to finding your purpose, having zero fear, getting closer to God. This is what needs to be happening for you right now. You got to realize this. You got to wake up to this. You got to grow in awareness. You got to read the books. You got to listen to these audios that I'm recommending you guys so you can actually start to gain the awareness. Because I'm giving you guys the the cliff notes. It gets a lot deeper than this in the book. It gets a lot deeper than this in the audio. Like, you guys are going to be mind blown by the information once you start to listen to it. But I ask you guys to listen to it so you can gain the most important thing, which is awareness. I want you to gain awareness. I want you to understand it. Not only understand it, I want you to understand it. I want you to feel it inside and realize, like, yo, damn, I need to make a change ASAP. I need to make a change ASAP. Okay, because eventually it gets to the point. Yes, it's on Spotify. Yes, it is. Just look it up. Outwitting the Devil. It gets to the point where you get those habits get so ingrained in you that there's no saving you. He literally says it in the book, and I was like, damn, bro, I know so many people that are like that. He says it gets to the point where I ingrain my beliefs and my habits and the ability of drifting so deep inside of them for so many years that after a while, there's no saving those individuals. There's no saving them. Because the thing is, they have to choose to want to change. They got to choose. It can't, nobody else. It has to be them that chose to want to change. And some people never choose to change. So you got to make it a priority to listen to this. So the first thing you got to understand is understand the concept of drifting. My best advice, I wish I could go as deep as it goes in the book. It goes very deep. It goes so deep to the point that I could probably, who knows, they'll probably make me take this video down on YouTube of how deep it actually goes. Okay, when he starts talking about the public school system, he starts talking about the hospitals. He gets so deep into it with food and the way it's all controlled with alcohol, drugs, cigarettes. Oh my God. If you guys smoke cigarettes, I'm sorry, but if you listen to that, this is gonna trigger you. If you're someone who smokes cigarettes on this call, just listen to that call, and you'll probably stop smoking cigarettes after listening to this, after listening to that book. I'm telling you right now, trust me, because the things that he says about that, it goes deep. I'm telling you, it goes as deep as you guys could ever imagine. Okay, you have to listen to it though. If you really want to understand the concept of drifting, you gotta read the book. But the easiest way is listen to the audio. Listen to the audio, because you could jump off this call and you could spend the rest of the day listening to it, and by the end of the day, you'll be done with it. Listen to 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes there, hour there, whatever it is, and you will listen to it. But listen to it intentionally. Listen to it intentionally so you can get the most out of it. Okay. Now, let's go to number two, right? We said number one, if we want to overcome the habit of drifting, number one, we got to understand the concept first. Number two, okay, we need to identify what are the drifting behaviors. Um, Let me see. Is it lagging here on IG, guys? Is that what it is? Let me know, because if not, I might have to restart it if it's lagging. Are we all good, or is it solid? Gotta exit and come back. That's so weird. Give me one sec, guys. Here, I think it's I hear it. Is it good on? Like, is it clear? I know we're good on YouTube. All right. If you guys can hear me, then we're good. Try to leave and come back. I rejoined, it works. Okay, good. If you can't hear me, good. Just leave and come back. Okay, let's go to number two. Number two is identifying drifting behaviors. Okay, identifying drifting behaviors. Okay, the most common drifting behaviors, write these down. The most common drifting behaviors: number one, procrastination. Okay, number two, indecision. Number three, excessive worrying. And number four, lack of goal setting. Those are the four most common drifting behaviors. Number one, procrastination. Number two, indecision. Number three, excessive worrying. And number four, lack of goal setting. Those are the most common drifting behaviors. Now, if you think about it, before I even had access to this information, those were my habits. I would constantly procrastinate. I would constantly be very indecisive. I would constantly worry, 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 worry. And I had no lack, and I had lack of goal setting. I had no direction in life. I was a true drifter. Had I not gained access to this information, who knows how deep I would have been into this, and I would have been lost in the sauce by this point had I not gained access to this information. Because if when I learned this, I was, let me see, I started entrepreneurship 23 and I read the book around 2018. So I was 24 years old when I learned this information. I was 24. And at that point, I was a massive, massive drifter. Okay. I was huge procrastinator. I would say I was going to do something and I wouldn't do it. I would say I was going to go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym. I would say I was going to read. I didn't read. I would say I was going to start a business. I wouldn't start a business. Everything, I was huge at procrastination. That is the biggest one. Okay. Because you got to remember, right? If you choose to go against your word, then you're choosing the enemy's advice, which is not to go. The enemy doesn't want you to grow. The enemy doesn't want you to elevate. The enemy doesn't want you to read. The enemy doesn't want you to get in the gym. The enemy doesn't want your mind to get strong. It needs your mind weak. It needs you to be procrastinating. It needs you to be indecisive. It needs you to be worried. It needs you to have no direction because that's how he controls you. I know this gets deep. I know this is getting deep and I know this could be uncomfortable for some of you guys, but when I heard this information, it made me so uncomfortable to the point where I knew I had to change because I saw myself as that drifter. I said, bro, I don't have no goals. I have no goals. I don't even know I don't even know what my goal is for the month. I don't know what my goal is for the year. What is my goal? I don't have no goal. Perfect. Here it is, Nano. This is why the enemy is in your mind every day. This is why you're always doubting yourself. This is why you're always filled with so much fear. This is why you always fear this, and that is because you have no direction of where you're going to go in life. You're just waking up and you're just going about your day with no direction. That's the worst thing you could do. I was always worried about my life, worried about my job, worried about my income, worried about what the next step in my life was going to be. Worried. I was very indecisive. What am I going to do with my life? What business am I going to run? What job am I going to go for? Who do I want to be with in my life? It was filled with just so many of these drifting behaviors that were causing me to live in the devil's playground. Okay. And Regine, I love that you're saying that. It sounds like me right now to the T. And guess what, sis? I've been there before. I know what it feels like to be there. And it took for me to do a call like this. It took for me to hear some information like this to realize, like, Nano, you need to change, bro. You need to change and you need to change ASAP. ASAP, as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, forget ASAP. You need to change now. Right now on the call. Right now, you need to make the decision to change. If you're being indecisive, it's time to make a decision now to change because this is what's holding you back from getting you to where you want to go to. It's the habit of drifting. The habit of drifting will destroy your life. It will destroy your family's life. It will destroy everything around you. You know why I know that? Because I see it happening to people around me. I see people's marriages being destroyed. I see people's families being destroyed. I see people's lives being destroyed because of the habit of drifting. Because they don't know what they want. They're indecisive. They don't have no goals. They're procrastinating every day. They just worry. And I get it. Some of you guys are probably like, well, no, you don't understand. No, I do understand. That's why I'm doing this call so I can get you to understand. so I can get you to understand why this is so important. Because if I don't get you to understand, if I don't make you aware of it, if I would have just kept this training in the vault and would have just been like, you know what, I'm not going to do this training, I would be doing you guys a massive disservice. I know it's an uncomfortable training. As a matter of fact, one of the most uncomfortable trainings that I do all year is this training. It's this training right here because it's tough. It's hard. People become drifters. They become very lazy mentally. You don't want to use your own mind. You have no control of your thinking. Someone else is doing the thinking for you. The outside forces are taking control. And this is where it really, really destroys people. I want you guys to really listen to this. Like, listen to that audio. And I'm telling you, what I'm saying right now, like, I'm on the surface level with it. Like, I'm keeping it very, like, chill and relaxed and stuff. When you listen to it in the book, it's going to go deep into the roots, to the point where while I was listening to it, I was getting goosebumps. The hair on my arms were standing up because I'm like, and I've heard this many times, but just hearing it again and realizing and seeing it more now that I'm aware, now that I'm someone in control of my thinking. Because when I listened to it, I was a drifter. So when you listen to it at first and you're a drifter, it kind of wakes you up. It makes you want to get off your bed, get off your couch and go work and get. But when you listen to it, once you've overcome the habit of drifting, you listen to the book from a completely different perspective. Okay, you start to realize and you actually start to feel good that you overcame that, because now you know and now you see it all over. You start to see it in your friends. You're like, damn, bro, my friends are drifting so bad. You start to see it in your family. You start to see it in your significant other. You're like, damn, she's a drifter. Damn, he's a drifter. I'm dating a drifter. You start to realize these things. You start to really like, oh my God. Like, what is happening? It's like when you wake up and you finally realize that you were sleeping the whole time. You gotta make sure of this, guys. And one of the things this is why people asked me the other day, one of my friends asked me the other day, like, yo, Nano, why did you move to Miami? Why do you pay so much for rent? And one of the reasons was because of what I learned in the book Outwitting the Devil, which is, in the book, he says, I use people environmental habits to get a definite grip of my victims. Environment is so important. What you see every day, what you hear every day, what you smell every day, what you taste and touch every day is going to have a massive effect on the way that you think. So I told him, I'm like, bro, I had to invest into a high vibrational environment where every day I wake up and it's sunny and I have everything at my fingertips. I got the gym, I got the sauna, I got a pool that I can go do my meditation by, I can read. I had to invest into this because I grew up in the hood. I grew up where there's drugs being sold on every corner. When I walk out of my building, there's needles on the floor from people shooting up drugs. Like, I grew up around gang affiliation. I grew up around this. Liquor stores on every corner. Fast food on every corner. All things used to control us. News on every day at my house. The news was on morning, afternoon, and night at my house. And then the thing is, like I said, you read the book and then you start to see the world completely different because you start to see the control. You start to see it. You're like, oh my God, look at it all right here. Look at all the fast food restaurants. Look at all the liquor stores. Look at all the drugs being sold. Look at all the lust. Look at all the partying. Look at all this. And you're like, yo, this is all controlled. It was designed this way. It was designed this way to keep people at low vibrations where they don't do the thinking for themselves. Others do the thinking for them. You don't believe me? You know what was the perfect example of it? And I won't say it so that it won't come up on my YouTube. What happened in 2020? What happened in 2020 was a perfect example of it all. People were at the biggest state of fear in their lives. They thought they were going to die. Okay, fear of death is the second highest, is the second biggest fear. And guess what? People were forced to take the whatever. Why? Because they were allowing drifters. Let's go back to the definition real quick. And look, if you were one of those, it's okay. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is, sis. It happens to the best of us. The good thing is that now you're aware. A drifter is a person who permits him or herself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world. Everybody that got it, believe it or not, was a drifter. You could call me what you want. It is the truth. They let the circumstances of the outside world be influenced by their control of your thinking. I know that might bother some of you guys. It may ruffle some feathers, but it is the truth. That is a perfect example of it. The people around us, the way the world is set up for them to control us. They don't want us to have control. It's more of us, less of them. The only way they can do it is by massive control. You guys understand that? Is this making sense? It's more of us, less of them. They have to find a way to control. How are you going to control billions of people? How are you going to do it? Through the food, through entertainment, through drugs, through alcohol. Let's be honest, guys. Think about it. How alcohol kills more people. Alcohol and cigarettes kill way more people than any other thing out there. But things like mushrooms are illegal. Things like, for example, weed until recently were illegal. But alcohol and cigarettes are absolute. It cause cancer, cause death. But those things are legal and they're sold on every corner. But the things that can open your mind, the things that can actually allow you to elevate are actually illegal. You guys ever think about that stuff? I thought about that. I'm like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Makes crazy amounts of sense. Because think about it. Alcohol. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I don't drink alcohol, because I have my sips of drinks and I have my margaritas and so on and so forth. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't drink at all, because I have had my drinks, okay? But if you think about it, alcohol destroys your ability to think. All these things that we do on a day-to-day basis are destroying us. The food that we eat, unless you're eating healthy, organic, farm-grown food that you see yourself, that you grew yourself, majority of the time, your food has some kind of contaminants or chemicals that are meant to keep you at a low vibration. Why you think the smartest people in the world are buying farms now to grow their own food, to grow their own plants, to grow their own fruits and vegetables and everything? Because everything is controlled. Everything, down to the toothpaste that you use. If you use toothpaste like Colgate, that is destroying your third eye because it has fluoride. It's in the little details of the day-to-day basis. If your toothpaste has fluoride, it is destroying your third eye and you don't even know it. I could get deep here on this call. I could get so deep on this call because I know all of this information. I got access to this information. People gave me access to this stuff. Your third eye is what helps you create the life that you want to. But people don't talk about this stuff. People are scared to talk about this stuff. I could go so deep on this call if I really wanted to. I keep it very surface level because I don't want to scare some of you guys, you know. But everything, I'm telling you guys, everything from the toothpaste that you use to the food that you eat, the drinks, the you think some of the fruits that you guys are eating are fruits for real? No, they're genetically modified fruits. The meat that you eat, majority is genetically modified, meant to destroy your insides. Remember, guys, it's all a system. The way they control everybody is through the food. Look, the food, they control the food, they control the world because people got to eat every day. The food system, thinks about it. Think about this. Everything you eat eventually leads to what? Diseases. Then now the hospitals get involved, right? Now the hospital gets involved. Now they got to cure these diseases. Now insurance gets involved. Now the pharmacy gets involved. Now everybody gets involved in it. This is how it all happens, guys. You guys got to know the system. You can't just be blind to the system. You got to see what is happening. It's all set up so that you can follow the system. You eat the wrong foods, then you end up in the hospital. Then, because you end up in the hospital, now you're prescribed these medicines from the pharmaceutical. This now insurance makes money off of that. Insurance leads to this, it goes this, then you lead to death. They make money it's a whole system that is set up. It is all set up. All of it is set up. You gotta pay attention, guys. You can't live in this delusional world. You have to be the one that realizes that we live, unfortunately, like I said, the book says that we live hell on earth. Some people, unless you act, remember, guys, this is what people think. There's no such thing as heaven or hell. That's all a consciousness. Okay, it's not like when you pass there, you go underground to hell, or when you pass, you go into heaven and there's the gates that are going to open up and you're going to see God. It's not how it works, guys. You live it here on earth. The way you live heaven on earth is by becoming enlightened, by being a free thinker, by living a life of joy, peace, abundance. Okay, but if you live a life of worry, if you live a life of fear, if you live a life of doubt, if you live a life of stress, you're living hell on earth. You have to experience it now while you're conscious. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Every one of you guys need to wake up and really smell the coffee, for real, for real. You can't just continue to sit in this delusional world and think that if you just sit around doing nothing, that things are going to change for you. This is what it's all about, guys. Why do you think when people start to speak up, they start to disappear? They start to this, that. That's why I even got to be careful myself. Why you think this is? It's because people don't want you to know this. They want to control us. They want you to be slaves to the system. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the real that I'm sharing with you guys. This is the truth. Because they don't want you to know this information. Why you think, example, one of my mentors, Kevin Trudeau, he got given 10 years in jail for a book that he published that was considered false information, false advertisement, giving him 10 years. And you know what? He's dedicated his life to exposing these people. He don't care to die at this point. Me, I'm not going to do that, but I'll wake up the people that I got to wake up. And a lot of the conversations that I have with people that are more deeper, I have them more face to face, in person, with the phones on do not disturb in another room. Just me, you, and a conversation. Because it gets deep, fam. It gets really, really deep. But I share this with you guys, and I'm still, like I said, I share this with you guys at a surface level. I'm not even going deep. I haven't even gone deep. I'm giving you guys the basic level stuff. Things to aware you guys. Imagine now that it goes deeper than that. It goes way, way deeper than what I'm giving you guys right now. But you got to pay attention, okay? So, like I said, number 2 is, okay, you got to identify the drifting behaviors, okay? Now, number 3, how do you overcome? Remember, we're going over the 5 steps to overcoming drifting. I know this training has gone a little longer than I've wanted it to, but we said number 1, you got to understand the concept of drifting. Number 2, you need to identify drifting behaviors. Okay. Number 3 is you got to develop a chief aim. You got to develop a chief aim. A chief aim is you got to figure out exactly what you want. You got to find out what is it that you want, guys. You can't remember one of the worst behaviors that makes you a drifter is not knowing what you want. So if you're on this call and you're like, yo, Nano, I don't know what I want. Right? I don't know what I want. I don't know what my goal is. That's a very dangerous place to be. You need to know what you want. How much money do you want to make? What position do you want at your job? Like, you got to commit to this. And you got to stay committed to that goal. Don't be like other people that they set a goal and then they fail a couple times and then they quit. That's why it breaks my heart when I have people that have joined, my business and they quit, because I'm like, yo, I was going to help you get the freedom that you wanted for you, your family, and for the generations to come. Like, this is not something that was going to happen in a month. This is going to take years to happen. We can't break hundreds of years of bad generational programming in a month of you joining my business. That's why it sometimes frustrates me when people do that, because I'm like, yo, I really wanted to help you change, and God gave you the opportunity and you let it go. This is not a 1 month thing. People come and focus on the wrong things, the money. You can't focus on the money. You got to focus on who you got to become. The money will come naturally. The money comes naturally. So you got to develop a chief aim. That's the most important thing, is find out what you really, really, really want. Okay. This is why I'm going to start offering private coaching here soon. I'm actually working on something where I'm going to be offering private coaching. Okay. Where it's going to be more private, more one-on-one, more exclusive, very, very private, because there's certain things that I can't teach on my platform. There's certain things that I can't teach on YouTube. And so many people have asked me for it. So many people like, yo, I need more of that one-on-one. I need more of that accountability. I need more of that. So that's why I'm going to start offering it, so I can teach people how to develop a chief aim. So I can teach individuals how to overcome drifting. This is why I'm going to start working on this before the end of the year. So, you really, really, really got to develop that chief aim. Okay. Trust me. This is the key. That's number 3. Number 4, you got to practice self-discipline and persistence. You must practice self-discipline and persistence. All right. This is so key right here. Every day, what's one thing I mention every day on Mornings with Nano? Can anybody tell me if you really know? What's one thing I mention every single day on Mornings with Nano? I tell you guys to do this every single day. What is one thing I tell you guys to do every day, rain or shine, no matter what? Your morning routine, family. This is part of your self-discipline. You think I tell you guys to do a morning routine to look cool or to post it on Instagram or to... No, I tell you guys to do your morning routine because it's what helps you develop that self-discipline. It helps you wake up. It helps you start gaining control of your thinking. It's deeper than just the reading, than just the meditation, than just the journaling. It goes way, way deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that. Why you think I tell you guys, yo, wake up, practice gratitude? so you can start training your mind to stay in a grateful state of mind. Why do you think I asked you to wake up and practice prayer? Yo, practice prayer so you can start building that relationship with God, so you can start building that relationship with your creator. Because in the book, he says, I'm the negative entity, but the positive entity is what we call God. Okay. That is the devil's opposition is God. So every time you pray and you give thanks and you give praise and you give glory, you are on the positive side. So when you wake up and you fill your mind and you cover your body with God's armor, you're on the positive side. That's why I tell people, wake up, practice gratitude and prayer. Okay. What do I tell you guys to do? I don't have my book right here. Wake up, read your goal card out loud. Start to program your mind to believe in the goals that you write down. Okay. What do I say? Go to the gym. What does the gym do for you? It puts your body in a great feeling, but it also develops a strong mindset because you push yourself. It develops strength. It develops so many other great things inside of you. I tell people to meditate, clear your mind. Clear your mind of the negativity, visualize your goals, focus on what it is that you want. I tell you guys every day, let's read the books. Okay, let's listen to the audios. All right, let's do what's required. Write in your journal. Write in your journal. Listen to audios every day, every day, every day. Why do you think I ask you guys to do this? You think I do it just so that you guys could look cool or for Instagram purposes? No, I do it because you need this. You need a routine that is going to help you start to become your own thinker instead of allowing others to think for you. The reason why I'm a free thinker today is because of everything that I've learned through my morning routine. If it wasn't for me waking up every day and doing my morning routine and reading and journaling and writing my goals down and praying to God and going to the gym and doing these things, I wouldn't have the thoughts and the emotions and the abilities that I have today. I developed all of that through my morning routine. I developed all of that through my morning routine. I developed my relationship with God through my morning routine. I developed the habit of prayer through my morning routine. I developed the ability to have a grateful mind and heart through my morning routine. I developed the ability to meditate and visualize my goal through my morning routine. I've been able to stay in shape and fit through my morning routine. I've been able to learn amazing information through my morning routine. Everything that I was able to develop to help me get out of the habit of drifting was through my morning routine. All of it. That's why I'm so hard on you guys. That's why I mention it every single day on every single call. Because I know that that's the most important part, is that's how I got out of it. Like, yeah, you can understand the concept of drifting, and yeah, you can understand the behaviors, and yeah, you could set a goal. But if you're not waking up every day and doing something about it, none of it matters. Because think about it. I could know about drifting. You could be on this call right now and you could be like, wow, bro, a drifter. You can understand the behaviors. You can even set a goal and be like, yo, you know what, Nano? I know what I want now. But if you don't wake up every day and do something about it, nothing will change. And the thing is, in order for your life to change, you have to change. So you need to spend time with you every day. It's with you that you need to spend time. Not with me, with you. I'm just here to give you guys ideas. You need to be spending time with you and with God every day. This is why it blows my mind when people say, oh, I'm tired. I can't wake up early. You don't have an option. Like what other option do you have? Like, you just want to stay average your whole life, or you want to really change this life? You're holding the receipt right now. Everyone before you failed. Every one of your ancestors, my grandparents, everyone before me failed. I'm holding the receipt now in my hand. And I got to pay this daily. I got to pay off all the debt for all the people that came before me. And I'm going to pay it gracefully. I don't know how much more debt I got to pay, but I'm not going to give up until I paid it all. Because my kids are not going to pay for my mistakes. That is a priority to me. My kids will not ever have to pay for that. By the time my kids come, they'll all be good. By the time they're even conscious enough to understand, we'll already be living a life of massive abundance, freedom, and peace. And they'll never have to worry about breaking any generational curses because their father broke those curses. And for my people that have kids, in Jesus' name, facts. And for my people that have kids, I know that you guys know what I'm saying on a deeper level because I don't even have kids and I'm saying it. For you that have kids and you're seeing them every single day, it must hit a little bit different than everything else. That should be your motivation. That should be your inspiration every day. Because my inspiration, what I use as inspiration is my parents. I got my godson and my goddaughter as well. But right now I use my parents as inspiration. Because I have a commitment. I made a commitment to them that I told them, I'm like, yo, the last years of your lives, you guys are going to live it abundantly and at peace. But you know what I had to do? I had to show up every day. I still do it to this day. I still do it to this day. And remember, in the book, it says the way that he takes control of your children is through you and then through them. So if you don't have the right programming, you're playing with your kids' future. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to tell you what it is. That's the reality of the situation right there. You're playing with their future if you're not developing them with the right thinking, with the right habits, with the right emotions, with the right ideas. This is the truth. This is not no BS or sort of say pillow talk. This is the reality of the situation that I'm explaining to you guys. And it's not to scare you. It's not to make you feel bad. It's to wake you up, to make you realize like, yo, this is happening right now. And no one else is going to tell you this. Nobody cares to tell you this. You know why nobody cares? Because nobody wants competition. People want to keep it all to themselves. They don't want to say anything. They want to gatekeep it. Nah, bro, we can't tell anybody. Let's keep this for us. Let's wake up us and let's let everybody else sleep. Not me. I want to wake all of you up. And if it means that I got to tell you guys the truth, even if it hurts, I got to tell you because you know what? Somebody had to tell me the truth to the point where it hurt enough where I got to change. Because when the pain of changing outweighs that pain, it has to outweigh the pain. You have to outweigh the pain. You change. You got to change. It has to hurt you so much to be like, yo, you know what, Nano, you're right, bro. It hurt for me to hear you say that, but it was what I needed because had I not heard that, I wouldn't want to change. So every time you wake up and you decide not to do your morning routine, you're doing yourself the disservice, not me. Not me. It's you that's doing yourself the disservice. Every day you decide not to go to the gym, not to read, not to do what you're supposed to do, not to pray, you're letting the enemy be like, perfect. You did me a favor not going to do your morning routine because now I can control your thinking even better. Oh, you didn't pray today? Perfect. Let me fill you up with my enemy. Let me fill you up with my worry, with my doubts. Oh, you didn't practice gratitude today? Perfect. Every day you decide to do the opposite, you're letting the enemy control you. Every time you decide to stay in bed, guess what? You're allowing the enemy to control you. It told you, yo, just stay in bed just a little bit longer. That's why I get so pissed off at myself when I miss my morning routine because it's like, damn, bro, you couldn't have woke up on time and did your morning routine. You let the enemy get the best of you and you let him keep you in bed. You got to do this, guys. The morning routine is the key that unlocks all doors. I literally have a training called The Key That Unlocks All Doors, and it's the morning routine. Your morning routine will unlock everything for you because you got to spend time solo. by yourself, on your own, isolated, no kids, no family, no friends, just you and God, and that's it. And you need to do it every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day. It can't be a, man, should I do it today or not? No, you don't have that luxury. You don't have the luxury to be like, you know what, I'm not going to do my routine today. You got to do it every day. And every day you don't do it, the enemy is controlling you, because you let the enemy have more control over you. You let the negative entity control you instead of letting the positive entity control you. That's why he says in the book his biggest opposition is God. Because when you vibrate with God, you're a free thinker. You're vibrating and you're thinking from the principles of God. You're not you know that there's no such thing as fear. There's only faith. There's no such thing as any of these things. There is no hate. There's only love. You start to understand that everything works in your favor. There's no reason to worry. God got you. Everything is going to take care of itself. That's why I live like that. I live from a vibration of love, appreciation, freedom, joy, free thinking. I control my thinking. I control my reality. It's the truth. People tell me things all the time. There was this joke recently because, my friends, when we go on vacation and we talk and stuff, they start telling me things like this, and I'd be like, yo, that's not my reality. That's not my reality. That's not my reality. That's not my reality. But it's a joke to them, but it's the reality for me. They'd be like, yeah, man, or whatever. It's not your reality, whatever. But I'm like, no, it's true. It's not my reality. I'm not going to accept that. I can't accept that into my life. I can't accept that reality right now. I'm sorry. It's not my reality. And it's hilarious. It's so funny. We all laugh about it. Obviously, it's all a joke and stuff, and we do it. But in reality, that's how I live. Though, whatever I don't want in my life, I won't accept it. It's not my reality. So, guys, number 4 is you got to practice that self-discipline. Okay. Amber, you should actually. That would be a good shirt. That's not my reality. That's not my reality. And then last but not least, number 5 is you got to create a personal accountability system. That's the last one, so we can wrap it up because I know this call has gone a little bit longer than usual. But you need accountability, guys. You need somebody that holds you accountable. You need some kind of accountability system. This is why I'm going to do private coaching, because most people just don't have somebody to hold them accountable. They just don't have somebody to hold them accountable. So you got to be the individual that finally realizes, you know what? I need to change, but I need accountability. Alyssa, the ads are so annoying. How many times, in an hour, how many ads do you guys deal with? I always wondered that because I have no control over it. It's already 4, twice so far, about 4 to 5. Damn. I got 4 ads, for me none. You guys gonna have to pay for premium, $15 a month. Yeah. I mean, I pay for premium, so I don't get ads. Yeah, but I know that's what they do it. It's so brilliant if you actually think about it. If you think about it from a marketing perspective, it's actually brilliant what they do. They put these ads, and then they make you pay the $15 a month. So, if you don't have premium, you end up wanting to get premium because you can't watch a show or you can't watch anything without it. So it is what it is. But, in my opinion, I think it's worth the $15 a month. I love YouTube Premium. But it's up to you guys. If you guys want to watch it with the ads, it's your boat afloat, It's rude though, it is, because it distracts you, it kind of takes you off course, you're taking notes, and it kind of sucks. But the last thing is you need accountability, guys. You need accountability. I love what my brother Tayshawn said. My wife keeps me accountable. I'd just be stubborn. Having somebody that doesn't need spokesperson. Having somebody to hold you accountable is the best thing that you could ever have. You know, if you have somebody that cares about you that much to hold you accountable on your thinking, on your routine, on all of those stuff, appreciate those people, man, because a lot of people don't care enough to even do it because they don't even know. They don't even know. Okay. This is why people pay for a trainer. Why do you think people pay big money for trainers? It's for accountability. Why do you think people pay for private coaching? It's for accountability. That's what most people miss is the accountability aspect of it. It's the accountability. I remember when I love paying for a trainer because if I want to wake up one morning and slack off, my trainer's gonna be there to call me like, yo, we have training today. Let's go. See you in the gym, 7 a.m. If not, if I decide not to go, I still gotta pay him. So I'm gonna be like, I'm paying this guy all this money. I might as well be there. You pay for the accountability. People pay big money nowadays for accountability. That's what it is. That's what most people pay for nowadays, for value and accountability. Okay, so those are the 5 ways to overcome drifting. Like I said, number 1, you got to understand what drifting is. Okay, number 2, okay, hold up, I got it right here. Let me just bring it right back up. I was trying to see if I could remember it off the top. But number 1, it was understanding the concept of drifting. Number 2, you got to identify the drifting behaviors. Number 3, you got to develop the chief aim. Number 4, you got to practice self-discipline and persistence. And then number 5, you got to create an accountability system for yourself. These calls are accountability for you guys, low key. Tuesdays and Thursdays, just meet me here. Here, I'm going to hold you accountable. Here, I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay. I'm going to tell you what it is here. So, it's one of those things that, you really, really got to understand. Come here, Mama. She misses me. She just comes and hangs out with me all the time. But those are the 5 ways to overcome drifting. My homework for all of you, homework for everybody, even for Nano, because I started listening to it, but I haven't finished it, is listen to the audio of not your wish, Outwitting the Devil. If you want to buy the book, you can also buy the book. It's called Outwitting the Devil. Start listening to it. And on Thursday, you guys are going to jump on the call and everybody's going to jump on the call more aware. Everybody's going to come on this call like, oh my God, bro. Thank you for giving us that homework. It's on Spotify for free, and they even got it on YouTube for free. Okay? Trust me. And if you've heard it in the past before, listen to it again. Trust me, please. Listen to me. If there's anything that you do today, is listen to that audio and watch. And then you're going to realize, like, damn, Nano was being nice to us. Nano kept it very surface level. Okay? Listen to that. I promise you it's going to change everything for you. I just want to know real quick, if I can count on you to listen to that audio over the next 48 hours before our next call on Thursday, put a 444 in the chat box, okay? If I can count on you to do it like that, all right? Another thing I wanted to mention is this. On Thursday, we're going to be doing Mornings with Nano at 11, though. I have a huge call that I got to be on at 10 a.m. on Thursday. So I can't listen. I'm not going to be able to hop on Thursday at 10 a.m. So we're going to do Mornings with Nano at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Just a heads up. I'll give you guys an update as well the night before, tomorrow night. But let that be the audio for the next 48 hours. Okay. The audio for the next 48 hours, all right, is Outwitting the Devil. You can get it on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Just go listen to it, and trust me, it's going to change everything for you. All right, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. And I'm going to do a quick prayer for us because I got to make sure that I give you guys the armor of God before we go, because he's the positive one in our side, and we only praise the positive. Okay. But we need to be aware of the enemy so that we can defeat the enemy. And that's the name of the game, right? You got to know the enemy to defeat the enemy. So quick prayer, and let's finish this call. Father God, we thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you for giving us access to information that can truly change our situation. Thank you for always being there for us each and every single step of the way. Anything that's not aligning with your purpose, Father, anything that has to do with fear, with doubt, with insecurity, with worry, I want you to eliminate all of those feelings from each and every single one of the individuals listening to this prayer. We're only committed to you, Father. We're only committed to happiness, to peace, to love, to appreciation, to gratitude, to your glory, Father. And that's what we're going to commit to moving forward. I speak on behalf of all of us on this call. We're going to be committed to our routines. We're going to be committed to being clear on what we want. And we're going to be committed to making sure that we put you first, because you are the one that's leading our lives. You are the one that is guiding us, and you are the one that has made all the sacrifices for us. So we are committed to the kingdom. We are committed to bringing more people to you, Father, and we are committed to going out there and being the change that we want to see in the rest of the world. We love you so much. Keep being there for us. In God's name we pray. Amen. 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 God is the greatest. God is the best. Keep working on yourself. Keep doing your morning routines. Keep doing what you're doing. Listen to those audios. Listen to that audio. I'm literally going to end this call and start playing the audio right away. Like, that's what I'm doing. The call ends. Boom. I'm going to go on Spotify and play Outwitting the Devil from where it is. All right. So I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Thursday, 11 a.m. Thursday, 11 a.m. We'll talk a little bit more about it, okay? Bring your notes, get ready, because everybody come Thursday is going to come more aware. This is homework. This is mandatory. Listen to it in your car. Listen to it on your way home from work. Finish the whole audio. It's only 3 hours long, all right? Love you. Appreciate y'all. See you guys Thursday, 11 a.m.